Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Versi Adams, exemplar global certified AS9100 auditor and consultant. And at the request of a colleague of mine by the name of Justin Cardenas, who is a quality engineer over at Mock Machine, Justin requested that I put this video together to help people understand how to put together a quality manual that is compliant with AS9100D. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it right now. Okay, everyone, let's get started with the with building of our quality manual. So before we get started, I want to let you know that I often see organizations out there create a quality manual that is between 30 to 35 pages long. And the reason it's that long is because the engineer or director or quality manager, whomever created the quality manual, basically took the AS9100 standard and did a copy and paste of all the clauses from clause 4 to clause 10, pasted them into a document, and reworded the document to show how that organization complies with all 7 clauses of the standard. So that's totally not necessary, and a little quite a bit of extra work. So the requirements for the quality manual are all in clause 4.4.2. And we're going to, as we go through these clauses, the subsequent slides we're going to talk about how you comply with that in your actual quality manual. Okay, so let's start with the very first section. As it says in AS9100D 4.4.2, the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes 1. A general description of relevant interested parties. The scope of the quality management system, including boundaries and applicability. A description of the processes needed for the quality management system and their application throughout the organization. The sequence and interaction of these processes. Assignment of the responsibilities and authorities for these processes. Note, the above description of the quality management system can be compiled into a single source of documented information and referred to as a quality manual. Okay, everyone, let's get started. So what we have here on the first page of the quality manual is just the basic first page where we call it a quality manual. We give it a document name, revision, and what you're going to do is put your company logo up at the top, and then where it's highlighted it says company name, you would put your company name there. And then what you see at the very bottom of this page is just basically a revision history and approval. So as the quality manual is created, it's going to be initially released, and then as it goes through revisions, you're going to want to put a summary statement in there as to why it was revised to the next revision 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, however you want to track your revisions. Okay? Okay, everyone. So as you recall, in 4.4.2, the first requirement was the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes the scope of the quality management system, including boundaries and applicability. So what you see here is the scope of the organization stated here. In this case, example, precision machining and fabrication of parts to include subassemblies and final assemblies for the space, aviation, and defense industries. This quality system applies to processes, activities, and employees of blank company. The facility is located at this fictitious address that I put in here for you guys. So now the second part of the statement to the right, it says the scope of the quality management system, including boundaries and applicability. So we have 4 clauses here that are not applicable to this organization. Clause 8.3, design and development, 8.55, 8.55C, and 8.55F. So, and you have to, when you state that a is not applicable, you have to justify why it is not applicable. And in this case, I'll go through one of these examples. Here are the first one. So 8.3 design and development. Company is a build to print machine shop. We do not perform product design or development for customer deliverables. All products are manufactured strictly in accordance with the customer drawings, models, specifications, and contractual requirements. Therefore, Clause 8.3 is considered not applicable to the scope of our AS9100D certification. So by doing that, you've complied with the clause to the upper right-hand corner where it says the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes the scope of the quality management system, including boundaries and applicability. Reference clause 4.3. Okay, so by doing that, this first part of the quality manual in terms of the scope is compliant. Okay, everyone. As you can see here, this page is referencing a strategic direction of the company. So it's quite lengthy, but it is what we call the strategic direction of this organization. So at company name, our strategic direction is rooted in precision, reliability, and continual improvement to serve the demanding needs of the aerospace and advanced technology sectors. Through our AS9100 compliant machining operations, we aim to be the trusted manufacturing partner behind our customers' most mission critical components. And then it goes on further and further to detail this company's strategic direction as they decided to create it like this. Okay, the requirement for that is in 5.11 general of the clause of the AS9100 standard. So 5.11G, it states that top management shall demonstrate leadership and commitment with respect to the quality management system, okay, by in part ensuring that the quality policy and quality objectives are established for the quality management system and are compatible with the context and strategic direction of the organization. So that is why we have a strategic direction statement, because in 5.11, we need to show compatibility with the context and strategic direction of the organization. So we have to create a strategic direction statement. And that is why it's here included in the quality manual. So we can show compliance with 5.11. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, everyone, let's move to slide number 5, where we're going to discuss um, the next requirement for the quality manual. So the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes a general description of relevant interested parties. See 4.2a. So a general description of relevant interested parties. So what we've done here in this listing here, we show interested parties that are documented in the CODA log. Organization has a CODA log, which is an acronym for context of the organization. In that CODA log, they document the interested parties as well as risk and opportunities in one single document. So what we've done is we've taken the interested parties list and placed it into a page of the quality manual here. Okay, so you can see here interested parties are broken down into the interested party, whether that interested party or parties are external or internal to the organization, and the reason for inclusion in the interested parties list. So, for example, we have customers. That's a very, very, very important interested party. They're external. And why are they on the interested parties list? Because, well, they purchase our products and services. Another interested party that a lot of people don't think about are your employees. They are an internal interested party. And why will we have them here? Well, because they're directly responsible for manufacture of products that are delivered to our customers. So again, so by doing this, by listing an interested parties, by creating an interested parties list and placing it in your quality manual, that's another step of the quality manual that you've complied with. Okay? Okay, everyone, let's move on to the next step of constructing our quality manual. So in clause, and the next clause, in the same clause rather, I'm sorry, 4.4.2, it states that the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes a description of the processes needed for the quality management system and their application throughout the organization. So what we've done here is we've listed in the red framed areas there, we've listed key processes, which are procedures. In this case, are called QMSPs, Quality Management System Procedures. And we have, for example, we have QMSP 4.22, which is for training, and we have the process owner, who is the operations manager. If we look throughout this listing, you'll see QMSP 415, which is internal auditing. That's a procedure, that's a process. And who is the owner? The quality manager. If we go up further to the top red box there, you'll see QMSP 403, control of documents. So who controls documents? In this case, it's the production manager. And then the last one, for example, is QMSP 400, which is control of non-conforming product. The owner of that process is the quality manager. Okay, so by doing this, we have complied with the requirement to describe processes needed for the quality management system and their application throughout the organization. Okay, and if you look up further in the larger red frame box, you'll see we've identified key processes. Um, in this case, the organization has identified the following five key processes, which are manufacturing, management, quality system, sales and customer service, and purchasing. And then all the interrelated processes that support those five main processes are in the two red frame boxes there. Okay? All right. Okay, let's go to the next required section for our quality manual. So the next subclause of 4.4.2 is the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes the sequence and interaction of these processes. Okay, so the sequence and interaction of these processes. So if you remember in the previous slide, we talked about the main processes and we broke them out down into sub processes, which were procedures that support those main processes. So what we have here is a diagram. It's an interaction of process diagram. It shows how all the processes that make up the quality management system interact with one another. So if you look at the very top section, we've got support processes, which consist of competence, document and record control, equipment and maintenance, monitoring and measuring equipment control, sales order process, planning, and non-conformance management. Then we go down and we've identified what we call management processes. So we've got management systems, internal audit, and change control. And then below that, we go into the product realization processes, which are broken down under manufacturing, in this case, CNC mill, CNC lathe, assembly, and deburr operations. Then we have supplier management, we have shipping and receiving, we have quality control, and we have engineering. So this is how all processes of the quality management system interact with each other and how they support each other. So this is an interaction of process diagram that shows that we've identified the sequence and interaction of these processes. Okay? Okay, everyone, moving along to the next requirement for our quality manual, as states in 4.4.2, the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes assignment of the responsibilities and authorities for these processes. So in this example, you see we have the members of the organization all the way from the president down to production related positions. So we have the president, and we have people that report to the president, such as this case, we have a director of operations, who is also the management rep. We have the vice president of business development, and then we have the director of logistics and procurement, who is also a management representative. Okay. And then as we go down further, we've got quality, we've got an individual responsible for shipping and receiving, the programmer, and a process technician. And then beyond that, we keep going down further. We've got materials and operator. We've got setup people and operators. We've got a lathe programmer. And then the last layer, we have identified deburr, a person who is deburr and a driver, a setup person, an operator, and then another operator. So this shows you the responsibilities and authorities for these processes. Okay, again, so the organization shall establish and maintain documented information that includes assignment of the responsibilities and authorities for these processes. So by creating an organizational chart, we've done that here, and we've complied with another area of the quality manual. Okay. Okay, everyone, let's talk about um, 5.1 in the standard, 5.1.1 general, and 5.1 leadership and commitment. So in the standard, it says that top management shall demonstrate leadership and commitment with respect to the quality management system by ensuring that the quality policy and quality objectives are established for the quality management system and are compatible with the context and strategic direction of the organization. So in this example, in the top red framed area, we have a statement about management commitment. So management is committed to the development, implementation, and ongoing management of the quality management system and its effectiveness by communicating the organization, the importance of meeting customer requirements as well as statutory and regulatory requirements, the establishment of a quality policy, ensuring quality objectives are established, conducting management reviews, and ensuring the availability of resources. So this statement tells the reader, the auditor, or the customer how management is committed to the quality management system. Now, in the bottom larger square, red squared area, is the quality policy. This is a lengthy one. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a lengthy one. Um, if you know anything about quality policies, you know that there are only really 4 requirements for the quality policy that need to be stated in the quality policy. This one's very lengthy. It goes a little bit further than that. But like you see here, it says company name provides customer with metal, machine parts, and assemblies that meet and or exceeds expectations. Company has developed its expertise since its establishment, and our continual goal is to achieve a high standard of quality and customer support in our strategic direction. Okay, and then it goes on further down the 4th paragraph. All personnel within the company are responsible for the quality of their work. Company provides continual training and has established systems to assist all personnel to achieve the standards required. Again, this is a very lengthy quality policy. Your quality policy doesn't have to be this lengthy to be compliant, but in this example, my customer here decided to have a lengthy one. Okay. The one thing about the quality policy I'll tell you is that you don't have to put the quality policy in your quality manual. You just need to maintain it as a standalone document. But the advantage of putting it in the quality policy is that it's upfront to the customer and to the auditor. The disadvantage of putting it into the quality policy, putting the quality policy into the quality manual, is that if you change the quality policy, make a revision to it as a separate standalone document, you have to remember to go back into the quality manual and update the page of the quality manual to reflect the new change in the standalone quality policy document. Okay, so that's kind of just something that you have to remember to do. But I'm all for it, and I favor having the quality policy in 2 places: as a standalone document, and then and basically copy and paste it from the standalone document into the quality manual. Okay. Okay, everyone, let's move along to the next area. Um, so in clause 5.11, it states that the organization shall ensure the quality policy and quality objectives are established for the quality management system and are compatible with the context and strategic direction of the organization. So in this example, we've listed the quality objectives in the red box up there. and they are 95% customer on-time delivery, 95% product acceptance for delivered product, 95% supplier on-time delivery, and then 95% product acceptance of supplier delivered product. Typically, your quality objectives are going to be in a separate document, like a spreadsheet or something that's generated monthly or quarterly report that's generated out of your ERP system. But I feel like it's a good idea, and I always put the quality objectives into the quality manual. Again, it's kind of like the same thing I talked about earlier. If you change your quality objectives in the external document, you have to remember to update the quality manual based on those changes. But it's a good way at a glance for your customer and for your auditor to see that you've complied with the quality objectives because they're stated there. And remember, the quality objectives need to be measurable. They need to be something that is countable. You can count a number of occurrences, or you can count them in way of a percentage. Okay, so they need to be that way. The other thing I reference here in the quality manual is customer focus and risk and opportunity. So I made statements in here of how the company achieves customer focus and how they manage risk and opportunities. So in this case, risk and opportunities are identified and managed via the risk and opportunities log that the company has established. Okay, so again, this covers the quality of the objectives and also covers briefly the customer focus and risk and opportunities. Okay, and those, of course, the risk and opportunities are supported by the separate risk and opportunities log or register, as you will. Okay. Okay, everyone, thank you very much. I hope that you have found this presentation informative, useful, and it's something that you can go right back into your organization and apply while you're creating your quality manual. My phone number, my email address, and my website are referenced for you below. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, or I mean, anything. Just give me about a 24-hour period of time at least to turn around your email and answer back to you. But again, thank you very much for watching this presentation on creating a quality manual that is compliant with AS9100D. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Thank you.